Hi everyone, MJ here. How's it going? This is my daughter Phoenix. We don't need so much room over our head. Let's go down a little bit more like this. This is Phoenix. Phoenix is 7 years old and Phoenix is bilingual. Yeah, at least. She can speak some Taiwanese too. But her English is really good because I'm her father. Want to say hi to everyone?
Hello, everyone.
We are upstairs obviously in my personal recording studio on top of my home here, and we're just running the air conditioner because it was awful hot. And I keep the air conditioner on in this room all the time during the heat of the season, but I do let the temperature get up to about 30 C maximum. We came in here, it was about 29, so we just turned it on a little bit higher. And actually what I want to do, I want to do this. This is LG, man. This LG is so smart. If I press this button, then the louver goes down and it'll actually blow air on this. Can you feel the air now blowing on you a little bit? Okay,
Yeah.
That's good. Now, if it gets too, Dean says hi. Hey, how you doing, Dean? Nice to have you with us. If it gets a little too cool, then then let me know and I'll move it back up. The LG has a thing called comfort air. You know how there's a louver that goes up and down, right, that blows the air up and down? Well, there's two settings. There's down and up. So depending on where you are, either one of those might be what they call a comfort position, because like if you're laying in the bed and you're down, you might want to blow it up so it's not blowing on you. But if you're sitting up, you might want to blow down towards your feet or something. So that one little button is really nice here in the studio because it's on the opposite of the mixing console. This is a recording console, but it's not the console that is for mixing is over here, and it's opposite that. So sometimes I can sit there and have it blow on the back of my neck, or just I can have it blow up in the ceiling. So it's pretty nice. Anyway, I want to say hi to everyone. Phoenix is in an international school. She's 7 years old. She's in the first grade. She was born late in the year, so that explains that. But her reading comprehension is pretty remarkable for being 7, and she also reads Chinese, and she's writing Chinese and learning Chinese, and she knows Bopo Mofo, which is that's the phonetic system, right? You know, that's how you pronounce the words and things, and give you the tone and everything. So, but she has 2 books with us tonight. These books are really funny. Hold it right up there. Hold it right up to the cameras on that. There you go. So this is Frog and Toad together.
And Frog and Toad are friends.
And Frog and Toad are friends. And we thought that I might share some of this with you. Phoenix can't stay with us too late.
We're gonna read a list cookies.
Here, let's read this one. I'm gonna read two Frog and Toad stories. These are really, really funny. So, okay. So this is called a list, and that's Toad. That's Toad sitting in bed. He's writing his list.
And the funny thing is, Frog is bigger than Toad, but Toad is smaller than Frog.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Yeah. Okay, one morning, Toad sat in bed. I have many things to do, he said. I will write them all down on a list so that I can remember them. I haven't read this beforehand. Toad wrote on a piece of paper a list of things to do today, and then he wrote, wake up. I have done that, said Toad, and he crossed out wake up, and there it is, he crossed it out. Okay. So, all right, now. Gosh, pages and stuff. Then Toad wrote other things on the paper.
And here's a paper.
Yep, there's the paper. Okay. Take walk with Frog, eat lunch, take nap, play games with Frog, eat supper, go to sleep. There, said Toad. Now my day is all written down. Sylvia, how are you? How are you? Sylvia says hi. Sylvia's from Indonesia, from
Hello.
Jakarta, yes. And she knows Chinese too. Yeah, so we're reading Frog and Toad. This is hilarious. There, said Toad. Now my day is all written down. He got out of bed and had something to eat. Then Toad crossed out.
Eat breakfast!
Toad took his clothes out of the closet and put them on. Then he crossed out.
Get dressed!
Toad put the list in his pocket. He opened the door and walked out into the morning. Soon Toad was at Frog's front door. He took out the list from his pocket and crossed out.
Go to Frog's house!
You don't have to yell. They're not listening on a cup with a string. Toad knocked at the door. Hello, said Frog. Look at my list of things to do, said Toad. Oh, said Frog, that is very nice. Toad says, my list tells me that we will go for a walk. All right, said Frog, I'm ready. Frog and Toad went on a long walk. Then Toad took the list from his pocket again. He crossed out,
Take a walk with Frog.
Just then there was a strong wind. It blew the list out of Toad's hand. The list blew high up into the air. Help, cried Toad. My list is blown away. What will I do without my list? Hurry, said Frog. We will run and catch it. No, shouted Toad. I cannot do that. Why not? Because, wailed Toad, running after my list is not one of the things that I wrote on my list of things to do. Frog ran after the list. He ran over hills and swamps, but the list blew on and on. At last, Frog came back to Toad. I'm sorry, gasped Frog, but I could not catch your list. Blah, said Toad. I cannot remember any of the things that were on my list of things to do. I will just have to sit here and do nothing, said Toad. Toad sat and did nothing. Frog sat with him. After a long time, Frog said, Toad, it is getting dark. We should be going to sleep now. Go to sleep, shouted Toad. That was the last thing on my list.
No.
Toad wrote on the ground with a stick. Toad wrote on the ground with a stick. Go to sleep. Then he crossed out.
Go to sleep!
There, said Toad. Now my day is all crossed out. I'm glad, said Frog. Then Frog and Toad went right to sleep, and there they are. Isn't that cute? That's a really funny story. Now the next one you want me to read is cookies, right?
Yeah, cookies.
Okay. Now I do remember hearing this one. This is cookies, and look at there's the cookies. Okay. Now
Nice cookies.
before I do this, I gotta have another drink. Toad baked some cookies. These cookies smell very good, said Toad. He ate one. And they taste even better, he said. Toad ran to Frog's house. Frog, Frog, cried Toad. Taste these cookies that I've made. It is cute, isn't it? These stories are amazing. Taste these cookies I've made. I like how he orders them. You taste these cookies. Frog ate one of the cookies. These are the best cookies I have ever eaten, said Frog. Frog and Toad ate many cookies, one after another. You know, Frog, said Frog with his mouth full, I think we should stop eating. We will soon be sick. You are right, said Toad. Let's eat one last cookie and then we'll stop. Frog and Toad ate one last cookie. There were many cookies left in the bowl. Frog, said Toad, let us eat one very last cookie and then we'll stop. Frog and Toad ate one very last cookie. We must stop eating, cried Toad as he ate another. Yes, said Frog, reaching for a cookie. We need willpower. What's willpower? Asked Toad. Willpower is trying hard not to do something that you really want to do, said Frog. You mean like trying not to eat all these cookies? Asked Toad. Right, said Frog. Frog put the cookies in the box. There, he said, now we will not eat any more cookies. But we can open the box, said Toad. That is true, said Frog. Frog tied some string around the box. There, he said, now we will not eat any more cookies. But we can cut the string and open the box, said Toad. That is true, said Frog. Frog got a ladder. He put the box high up on a shelf. There, said Frog, now we will not eat any more cookies. But we can climb the ladder and take the box down from the shelf and cut the string open and open the box, said Toad. That's true, said Frog. Frog climbed the ladder and took the box down from the shelf. He cut the string and opened the box. Frog took the box outside. He shouted in a loud voice, "Hey, birds! Here are cookies!" Birds came from everywhere. They picked up all the cookies in their beaks and flew away. Now we have no more cookies to eat, said Toad sadly, not even one. Yes, said Frog, but we have lots and lots of willpower. You may keep it all, Frog, said Toad. I'm going home now to bake a cake.
Now, the next two stories are A Swim, The Ladder.
So, I realize this is an unusual departure from our usual late night show, but I just want to say I love these stories. Thank you so much. And Phoenix, I think, makes a really nice co-host. She's over here, and I can just do this a little more. Put you more like that. Bernardo, how you doing? Nice to have you with us. Fist bump to you. Bernardo's from Germany. We're reading Frog and Toad. And these stories are hilarious. I wish I'd written them. Okay, which one do you want me to A Swim? And the letter. Okay, so A Swim.
A Swim.
It's on page 40. This is called A Swim. Toad and Frog went down to the river. What a day for a swim, said Frog. Yes, said Toad. I will go behind these rocks and put on my bathing suit. I don't wear a bathing suit, said Frog. Well, I do, said Toad. After I put on my bathing suit, you must not look at me until I get into the water. Why not, asked Frog. Because I look funny in my bathing suit. That's why, said Toad. Frog closed his eyes when Toad came out from behind the rocks. Toad was wearing his bathing suit. Don't peek, he said. Frog and Toad jumped into the water. They swam all afternoon. Frog swam fast and made big splashes. Toad swam slowly and made smaller splashes. A turtle came along the riverbank. Frog, tell that turtle to go away, said Toad. I do not want him to see me in my bathing suit when I come out of the river. Frog swam over to the turtle. Turtle, said Frog, you will have to go away. Why should I, asked the turtle. Because Todd thinks that he looks funny in his bathing suit. Toad thinks he looks funny in his bathing suit, and he does not want you to see him, said Frog. Some lizards were sitting nearby. Does Toad really look funny in his bathing suit? They asked. A snake crawled out of the grass. If Toad looks funny in his bathing suit, said the snake, then I, for one, want to see him. We want to see him too, said the dragonflies. There you go. Me too, said a field mouse. I've not seen anything funny in a long time. Frog swam back to Toad. I'm sorry, Toad, he said. Everybody wants to see how you will look. Then I will stay right here until they go away, said Toad. The turtle and the lizards and the snake and the dragonflies and the field mouse all sat on the riverbank. They waited for Toad to come out of the water. Please, cried Frog, please go away. But no one went away. And here they are looking.
I think Toad should take out his bathing suit in the water.
Yeah, well, let's find out what he did. You know the story, but I don't, so here we go. Toad was getting colder and colder. He was beginning to shiver and sneeze. I'll have to come out of the water, said Toad. I'm catching a cold. Toad climbed out of the river. The water dripped out of his bathing suit and down onto his feet. The turtle laughed. The lizards laughed. The snake laughed. The field mouse laughed. And Frog laughed. What are you laughing at? Excuse me. What are you laughing at, Frog? Said Toad. I'm laughing at you, Toad, said Frog, because you do look funny in your bathing suit. Of course I do, said Toad. Then he picked up his clothes and went home. And there he is, all indignant. But
Because he doesn't like when his friend laughs at
yeah,
him.
but so there he is. And I don't think he looks that bad, but everybody was laughing.
If I was Toad's friend, I would hug him.
Well, yeah. I mean, what have you learned from these stories?
You need to be kind to each other. You need to be a friend to someone, which I have done to my classmate Julia.
There you go. Well, I'm trying to raise you right, you know, and
There's some words back here, so we
the funny thing is sometimes people who are supposed to be best friends can treat themselves pretty badly because they become familiar with each other. And say we say they have too much familiarity. They know each other too well. Yeah. Okay. Well, this, you know. It's all
read
different,
all
okay.
of them later.
All right. So there's one more you want me to read, right? This is called The Letter.
The letter.
Toad was sitting on his front porch. Frog came along and said, "What's the matter, Toad? You're looking sad." "Yes," said Toad. "This is my sad time of the day. It's the time when I wait for the mail to come. It always makes me very unhappy." "Why is that?" asked Frog. "Because I never get any mail," said Toad. "Not ever?" asked Frog. "No, never," said Toad. "No one has ever sent me a letter. Every day my mailbox is empty. That is why waiting for the mail is a sad time for me." Frog and Toad sat on the porch, feeling sad together. And there they are. There's the mailbox. And there's... Okay. Hey, Ken, how you doing? Thank you. Nice to have you with us, Ken. Thanks for joining. This is great. You don't punch him. You give him a fist bump, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Then Frog said, "I have to go home now, Todd. There is something that I must do." Toad. Frog hurried home. I keep calling him Todd. Frog hurried home. He found a pencil and a piece of paper. He wrote on the paper. He put the paper in an envelope. On the envelope he wrote, "A letter for Toad." Frog ran out of his house. He saw a snail that he knew. "Snail," said Frog, "please take this letter to Toad's house and put it in his mailbox." "Sure," said the snail, "right away." And there's Toad writing it, and there's giving it to Snail. Then Frog ran back to Toad's house. Toad was in bed taking a nap. "Toad," said Frog, "I think you should get up and wait for the mail some more." "No," said Toad, "I'm tired of waiting for the mail." Frog looked out of the window at Toad's mailbox. The snail was not there yet. "Toad," said Frog, "you never know when someone may send you a letter." "No, no," said Toad, "I do not think anyone will ever send me a letter." See, Ken gave us a fist bump, see? Frog looked out the window. The snail was not there yet. "But Toad," said Frog, someone may send you a letter today." "Don't be silly," said Toad. "No one has ever sent me a letter before, and no one will send me a letter today." Frog looked out of the window. The snail was still not there. "Frog, why do you keep looking out of the window?" asked Toad. "Because I'm waiting for the mail," said Frog. "But there will not be any," said Toad. "Oh, yes, there will," said Frog, "because I have sent you a letter." "You have?" said Toad. "What did you write in the letter?" Frog said, "I wrote, 'Dear Toad, I'm glad that you are my best friend.'" "Your best friend?" "Frog." "Oh," said Toad, "that makes a very good letter." Then Frog and Toad went out onto the front porch to wait for the mail. They sat there, feeling happy together. Frog and Toad waited a long time. 4 days later, the snail got to Toad's house and gave him the letter from Frog. Toad was very pleased to have it. And so, that's Frog and Toad, and they're sitting waiting, and they're really cute, you know, best friends. And there's a mailbox. And then, we see the snail. get them in the mail. So I think that's so cute.
And the back of the book, there is some words.
Can you
And
read
there's
those
the
words?
pictures.
Can you read that?
Mhm.
What does it say?
Frog and Toad are always together. Here are 5 wonderful stories about flowers, cookies, brave dreams,
Bravery.
bravery,
Mhm.
dreams, and most of all, friendship.
7 years old, first grade, not bad. Better than me.
From writing letters to going swimming, telling stories to finding lost buttons. Frog and Toad are always there for each other, just as best friends should be.
There you go. So have you learned some things from these books? What do you think? Do you think Todd? Oh yeah. Do you think Toad? You think Frog and Toad are good friends?
Yes,
Okay. Do you think they'll remain good friends?
yes,
They should. But friendship is like anything else. You have to maintain it. So do you think it was nice that Frog sent a letter?
Actually, these are the 3rd books. These are the 2nd time that I borrow these books from the library.
Those same ones or different? Or do you mean?
Different.
You mean from Frog and Toad?
Yeah,
Okay.
I borrowed one more. Just I needed to give it back. So this book I need to give it back.
July 2nd.
July 2nd.
Yeah. So. Okay. So why don't we say good night? And thanks for joining. We weren't going to be on for too long, but we just wanted to read those. It's something we haven't done in a while. And in fact, I years ago read one of Phoenix's books on Periscope, and it was absolutely hilarious. But she has these books from Frog and Toad, and I just really wanted to read them. They're really delightful books. I haven't read these. I read the other one, so I just wanted to come on cold and just have a read of these. So that was cool. So, all right, you guys take care.
Bye.
And we'll see you next time. I'll be on Sunday night, but I might be on earlier. And I'm trying to see if I can get Phoenix to go with me down maybe to Win-Win's. And got to see if we can get some barbecue food. So, thanks so much, you guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Bernardo says good night in German, see? Thank you for sharing your story, Phoenix. Can you read that? It's a little small. Can you read it? Yeah, that's Kenrod. You know Kenrod. He's just
You're
the
welcome.
You know who Kenrod is, right? He's got the coffee reviews. Yeah, he's from Texas. Yeah, okay. So you guys take care, and we'll see you so much. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time, and take care. Have the good afternoon, evening, day, night, wherever you are. We're going to say bye-bye. It's Zaijian, Wan An from Taiwan.
Bye.
Bye-bye. See you. Fist bump. Bye now. Take care. That was fun, wasn't it? Yes?